You know, pain takes on a whole new thing. You know, anybody under 50 in here, you will tell somebody about an ache of pain. Oh, my leg hurts. I don't know what I did. I must have ran yesterday, and I must have pulled a muscle, or, you know. After 50, you don't even say anything. You don't even as a matter of fact, you don't really even fix your face like anything's wrong. You just, and that's why old people, if you know old people, the old people, they would just smile at you. They, you know, because they would be hurting and they just take it slow. You all right, Mama? Yes, baby, I'm fine. That reasonable portion of health and strength. And if you can understand how important that is for you, then as your day progresses, whether somebody's in their right mind or not, whichever way, you will make sure that you are grounded and that you can give that person the consideration that they're due. Consideration for consideration's sake. Oh, goodness for goodness sake. You'll just try to serve because this is service. And again, the old folks would say, on this day, whom shall you serve? Well, I say on this day, how may you serve? And if you ask yourself that question before you head out, when you walk in, you'll be all right. And people won't attach things to you because they'll know that you helped them. And the reason I'm saying people, because there are people under stress now that maybe they don't know how to deal with stress. And we don't want to incite people by making them, even if they're at zero, we don't want to make them feel any less than zero. We want to give them all the help that we can. Does that sound reasonable? It's never personal. As much as possible, train yourself to determine what is at issue, even if you're dealing with conflict. Depersonalize the conflict and try to determine what is at issue, and then work from the issue standpoint, not from the personal standpoint. Secondly, intellectual stimulation, I think, is at the root of the transformational leadership that the keepers of the word need to have. One thing that, when you have people that are excited about learning, it just hops over everything. It doesn't separate. That excitement about learning and just gaining information, it doesn't limit you, it doesn't separate you, it actually empowers you and empowers whoever you're around. People begin to see you and they want to get it. They want to get the same information. As a storyteller, I would see that little transfer. I used to call it when I would go as a emerging artist into the elementary schools. And these were maybe some of the elementary schools none of the other artists wanted to go to because the kids hadn't heard the stories. They hadn't seen the rain stick before. It's a long time ago. But when you go in there and you are just excited about a story and you're telling it, you're not watching to see if they're getting it. You look up and the light bulbs are coming on. And it's interesting sometimes how we can cause change by tapping into what it is that you like. So why did you become a librarian? Why are you in the library? Why did you take this? This is not something you just wake up and say, well, when I grow up, a lot of kids, now when I grow up, I want to be a librarian. You know, you came to this profession and it came to you for a reason. And I've seen some folk in the library that are absolutely engaged with when the young folk are they're not running through and tearing up the books. They are there and they're sitting with their mouths dropped open and they're amazed at the little puppet show and they're just, you know. It doesn't matter whether there's a puppet show at home, a sock with some buttons on it. They're there. They're learning there. We owe our communities our attention. You are the keeper of the word. Yeah, there are computers at home, but they may not know how to find out what you know. Because I've gone in and had one idea and come out with a whole nother perspective. It's wonderful. Okay? Number 3. as keepers of the word and transformational leaders, I'm asking you to become inspirational motivators. Now, I've said a lot of times, you really cannot, okay, this is the chicken before the egg and all this other type of discussion. Can you motivate a person? And American Management Association tends to follow this belief: you cannot motivate a person. You can create an atmosphere where motivation can occur. And I think that that is wonderful, because a lot of times people get the library confused with their living rooms. Don't touch that. What do you need with that? And it goes again to this thing of introducing new things, introducing creativity and wonder and a sense of amazement to folk that maybe, you know, we've just about choked off imagination.